sure I'm going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.
Oscar Bevis, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Liv Hussey joins me from her home. Liv, thank you very much for giving me some of your time. How are we today?
Yeah, all good, mate. And yourself, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to obviously a couple of boxing shows at the weekend. A first IFL interview for yourself. So as I told you before, just kind of a little bit of a get to know and know about your background and kind of where you want to go. So I always like to start by kind of the most basic question. What was your first boxing memory?
Probably my first ever fight, to be honest, because basically I used to play football when I was younger, and I used to play for Everton, and I didn't make it to where I wanted to, so I just started boxing just to lose a bit of weight and just to keep fit type thing, and obviously hoping to go back to football. But I was in the gym, just wanting St Helens where I'm from, and training, enjoying it and stuff. Obviously doing a bit of sparring, and one of the coaches was like, "We've got a show coming up. Do you want a skills bout?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not? I'll give it a go." And obviously it come to the night. I trained, I'd lost quite a bit of weight as well, and it ended up being a bout, and it got bout of the night. It was just mental because I'd never ever thought I'd ever be fighting in a ring. Do you know what I mean? I've always been football mad or anything but boxing really, and then obviously it happened, and then I've never looked back.
Yeah, see, my next question would have been, has it always been boxing? But obviously, like you said, it started with football. When you kind of had that moment of realising that it wasn't to be for you at Everton, I suppose, obviously, I don't know how old you were then, but I suppose that was a very hard thing to deal with. And you probably couldn't think about taking another sport too seriously at the time, I guess.
Yeah, it's because obviously I didn't really meet the criteria that they wanted. Do you know what I mean? And it's a bit of a heartbreaker, really. Obviously, because obviously you're training whatever sport you do, you train your best, and obviously you want to do the best at that sport. So if you don't feel like you've done what you can, it's a bit disheartening, isn't it? So obviously, yeah, you're right in what you're saying. Obviously, you couldn't see myself going trying to do it again with another sport, but obviously it turned out, and obviously it's probably worked out for the best.
Yeah, was there a point where you realised at one stage that, you know what, this could be a little bit more than just a hobby, even if it was like an early thought, oh, do you know what, there could be a bit of a path in this?
Yeah, of course. Joe, it just varied really with the way I felt about it, because like you say, I was a kid, so you're still going out with your mates and you're not taking it very seriously. But there was obviously, after having so many fights and stuff like that, I kind of thought to myself, it is something that I'd love to be able to do and obviously earn money from it. But I had quite a bit of a break as well. Before I started thinking I wanted to go pro. So I did a lot in the amateurs, and then I had a bit of a break. So obviously it was kind of in that time period. It wasn't ever when I was fighting. It was more in the time when I wasn't doing it as much. And I was getting a qualification because I do electrician. So I was obviously more concentrating on getting that behind me. And then just something clicked, and I was like, do you know what? I want to go pro. I want to give it a go.
So you're multi-talented. That's what you are. In terms of kind of where you're looking to go, like you said, you've got that kind of amateur solidarity behind you. I know from speaking to a couple of people and doing a little bit of research, you achieved quite well, and you're quite kind of well known on the amateur circuit.
Yeah. So, I boxed for a club called Wildcard ABC in St Helens. Started off my career there. Like I said, I'd meet first few fights there. I won the junior ABAs as well. And then obviously I changed gyms and I moved to one in Warrington at Hook and Jab. I won the youth ABAs while I was there, and I also went to the Europeans as well twice. But obviously, first time I didn't medal. I was only about 15. But the second time when I was at the gym in Warrington, I got gold when I was in the Europeans. So, like I say, I've had a lot of background. And I got on GB, went fighting for GB, was sparring people like Sandy Ryan, Lauren Price, all these prospects who are pro now. I was sparring them up in GB. So I've had quite a bit of a good background with it, the amateur side of it.
Am I right in saying you shared the ring with Tash as well?
Yeah, I sparred Natasha, yeah. Because obviously the gym when I was at Hook and Jab, my coach knew Tasha very well just because she was a coach up in GB. Her name's Mandy Grock. She was a GB coach, so she like obviously was in contact and stuff like that. So she organised that, and she used to do like girls squads. So like the girls all from over like Merseyside and Cheshire, we all got together and did sparring and stuff like that. But I've sparred Tasha like quite a few times. She's come down to the gym, or she's actually come and got me, and we've gone and sparred up at Joe's gym as well.
Has that been a bit of a pinch yourself thing? Because obviously, I don't know how much of an actual boxing fan you were, but I mean, being in the sport, someone like Natasha Jonas wanting you to spar, was there ever a point where you just kind of went, yeah, this is a little bit mad, actually?
Yeah, definitely. It was just mad even of just like picking me up to just like take me to the gym. Do you know what I mean? Like next minute we're in the ring sparring, but she's just such a quality boxer, and just to be in the ring and share the ring with someone who's done like kind of come on the same pathway as me, basically like the GB route and boxing in the world and stuff like that. She's done that. She took her career to the next level. So just to be in with someone like that who's so talented was just unbelievable. And she brought me on leaps and bounds as well.
Yeah. Obviously, women's boxing is really motoring at the moment. Did you notice coming through that the feeling was changing a bit? Because I suppose it's always been there, but it's probably only been really in the last decade that it's kind of kicked on. Did you notice coming through that things kind of were just the tide was turning a little bit?
Yeah, that's probably what got my ego going as well. To be honest, during my amateur career, it was known, but like you said, the likes of like when Eddie Hearn signed Katie Taylor at ended, and it just shot up then straight away, didn't it? Like all these names coming from everywhere. Then you've got obviously other different prospects who signed. So it was just up in the air, and everyone was like, "Wow, it's going through the roof," all because of like them big signings. So it was more like, as since it's been promoted well off like Eddie Hearn and stuff like that, I was thinking, do you know what? One day I want to be there and want to do that, because at the end of the day, they've all only done similar to what I've done, like the GB route, the ABAs. Do you know what I mean? And they've just obviously made a name of themselves and good at what they do. So I don't see a reason why I can't go on to do the same as well.
Yeah, I mean, some big names, like you mentioned, kind of kickstarted that. Big fights are being made, big money's being made. Is this the time, if any, to get the smaller gloves on and start trying to earn that big money?
Yeah, definitely for me. I mean, at the minute you've got like big fights being talked about. So you've got Katie Taylor, Chantel Cameron happening on May the 20th. You've got possibly Clarissa Shields and Tasha Jonas. Obviously you've got Terry Harper as well. I think she's just announced she's fighting. So there's all these big names, and obviously Terry Harper and Tasha are at like the same weight category as me at the very top, aren't they? So obviously I'm hoping to be able to do what they've done and build my way up to the top like them.
Yeah, obviously there isn't the biggest kind of talent pool. It's very like, it's quite a quick jump to world level, should I say? Like we mentioned, obviously you sparring with Tash earlier, and you mentioned Terry Harper. Do these girls have to keep an eye out at the top of the division? Because if you're good enough in the female scene, like I said, you don't really have that British and European scene as much. If you're good enough, you get there quickly. So are these girls, have they got to keep their eye out?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not here to just be anybody, you know what I mean? I'm here to make a name for myself and obviously be in big fights. So I wouldn't like ever duck a fight or not want to fight anyone. If a big opportunity come like that to me, then I'd grab it with both hands, because I know that I'm capable of being at that level. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Trained by Terry and managed by Paul Smith. I've got to talk about that as a team as well. I think that's a good little double act. I think that's a very good little double act.
Yeah. He's boss Tez, and obviously having Paul as my manager as well. That's just an achievement in itself. And Terry, we've gelled very well. He's a very, very good coach. He puts all the time into every boxer he's got. And you know, he's like I say, he's just such a good coach, and he's been really helpful with me. He never like rushed me or anything. Obviously, I'd messaged him, and then I didn't really go, and then obviously, like I said, I just ended up going down, and we just kind of did the pads and just to see how I thought, basically fall back in love with it because I'd had that break. And then obviously I signed over, and Paul come along and said, obviously he'll definitely manage me, and he looks forward to manage me in an exciting career. So everything just seems to be falling into place at the minute. So I'm just waiting for that, hopefully that big platform to start off my career.
Yeah, well, this is where we talk about the juicy stuff. Promotionally, can we expect a bit of a battle for the signature? Because anyone who's done a little bit in the amateur circuit, promoters aren't stupid. They got scouts left, right, and centre. There's always someone who's in the know. So do you reckon we can expect
definitely.
maybe a little battle, a few people sniffing about?
Definitely. There has been a few like looking about, but obviously it's just getting that getting that person. But obviously, I know for whoever signs me, then they're obviously not going to regret it. And the people who didn't and probably just looking on, like you say, like scouts looking at me, then they'll probably regret not getting their hands on first, because I'm going to be an exciting fighter, just especially with the style I have as well. Not like all the tippy tappy, you know what I mean? I'm there to fight. So I'll be in some exciting fights when I'm up there.
That's music to my ears. So you're someone who wants to get in there. You want to stand there and you want to fight. Obviously, look, there's boxing ability. Yeah. You're not a good amateur if there isn't, but you want to get in and you want to fight.
Yeah, when if I need to fight or if I need to box, should I say, I'll box. You know what I mean? I won't just go in hell for leather. I'll pick my shots and I can fight, so I can adapt as well. Which obviously takes you far in like a career in boxing, because you need that to be able to adapt to styles, adapt to your game plan. If something happens, you need to be able to adjust it. So I'm excited and I can't wait. I just hope that the platform soon falls in and I can get that date for my debut. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say as my next question, what perhaps date or timeline have you got in mind? Is everything through with the board and stuff? Cause like where are we at? Because I know there's a lot of crap you kind of got to do, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. The medicals obviously getting sorted at the minute. I have everything's been sent off to the board. So like you say, it's just a matter of going meeting the board and having a bit of a chat, as they say, and obviously letting them know about what I've done in my career and stuff like that. And then obviously after that, once the medical's done, I've been training. I've been, you know what I mean? I've lost a bit of weight since I've been training as well. So I'm in shape. I'm sparring, and I'm feeling good and I'm improving. So it's just like I say, getting all that stuff out the way, like your medical and stuff, and then obviously we can start putting more pressure on these promoters, like and saying like we're ready to go. So it's just about staying ready, staying sharp, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Obviously, Paul rang me the other day as well. I had a chat with him over the phone, just on about like bits and bobs, and he said like, "Oh, we're hoping for like the end of May, beginning of June. Fingers crossed, if everything goes to plan and stuff like that." So yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah, we can't wait to see your debut. Just one more thing from me, Liv, before I let you go. Where does this journey end? I've got a feeling I know what you're going to say here.
Undisputed world champion. That's where it ends.
Super.
Every belt in the division, round me way, shoulders, you name it, I'll have it.
I'm going to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.